Alright, scene 4. Another room in the castle. Enter the Queen and Polonius. So here's Polonius' voice. Polonius. Remember, Hamlet's my regular voice, and I gave the Queen sort of a soft voice, kind of like this, you know? And so, okay, so here's Polonius. He will come straight. Look you, lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. I'll silence me, e'en here. Pray you, be round with him. Within, Hamlet is here. He's in there. He's already saying, Mother, mother, mother. Here's the Queen. Oh, for those of you who hear that outside, that's just some car driving by with some loud music. Happens all the time. Alright, so here's the Queen. I'll warrant you, fear me not. Withdraw. I hear him coming. Enter Hamlet. Polonius goes behind the arras. Now, mother, what's the matter? Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended. Mother, you have my father much offended. Come, come, you answer with an idle tongue. Go, go, you question with a wicked you question with a wicked tongue. Why, how now, Hamlet? What's the matter now? Have you forgot me? No, by the rood, not so. You are the Queen, your husband's brother's wife. And, would it were not so, you are my mother. Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak. Come, come, and sit down, you. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass, where you may see the inmost part of you. What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help! Help, ho! Polonius behind the arras. What, ho! Help! 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 How now, a rat? Hamlet draws. Dead for a ducat! Dead! Hamlet makes a pass through the arras. Yeah, he stabbed Polonius. Hearing the voice, and Polonius, I am slain? Blah. And Polonius falls dead. Here's the Queen. Oh me, what hast thou done? Nay, I know not. Is it the king? He draws forth Polonius, Hamlet. Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this! A bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother. As kill a king? Aye, lady, 'twas my word! And now Hamlet turns back to Polonius. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune, thou findest to be too busy is some danger. Leave, wringing of your hands. Peace, sit you down, and let me wring your heart, for so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff, if damned custom have not brazed it so, that it is proof and bulwark against sense. What have I done, that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me? Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love, and sets a blister there. Makes marriage vows as false as dicers' oaths. Oh, such a deed as from the body of contraction plucks the very soul, and sweet religion makes a rhapsody of words. Heaven's face doth glow, yea, this solidity and compound mass, with tristful visage, as against the doom, is thought sick at the act. Ay me, what act, that roars so loud and thunders in the index? Look here, upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command, a station like the herald Mercury, new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill. A combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look now, what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Ha! Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday in the blood is tame, it's humble, and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? Sense, sure you have, else could you not have motion, but sure that sense is apoplexed. For madness would not err, nor sense to ecstasy was ne'er so thralled, but it reserved some quantity of choice to serve in such a difference. What devil was't that thus hath cozened you at hoodman blind? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling sans all, or but a sickly part of one true sense could not so mope. Oh, shame! Where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutine, I know that word, in a matron's bones to flaming youth, let virtue be as wax, and melt in her own fire. Proclaim no shame when the compulsive ardor gives the charge, since frost itself as actively doth burn, and reason ponders will. O Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turnest mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their tint. Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty. Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter mine ears. No more, sweet Hamlet. A murder and a villain! A slave that is not 20th part the fifth of your precedent, lord! A vice of kings, a cut purse of the empire and the rule, that from a shelf of the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket! No more! A king of shreds and patches! Enter the ghost. Sumio Santana says, wholesome brother, in quotation marks. Yes, indeed. Let's fix this up. Oops, not that button. Okay, so after Hamlet was just railing and couldn't hold back his poor son tears, enters the ghost. And here's Hamlet. Save me, and hover over me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure? The queen sees this. Alas, he's mad. Do you not come, your tardy son, to chide that lapsed in time and passion, lest go by the important acting of your dread command? Oh, say! Here's the ghost. Do not forget. This visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul, conceit in weakest bodies, strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet. How is it with you, lady? Alas, how is't with you? That you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse. Forth at your eyes your spirits widely peep, and, as the sleeping soldiers in the alarm, your bedded hairs, like life and excrements, start up and stand and end. O gentle son, Upon the heat and flame of thy distemper sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look? On him! On him! Look you how pale he glares! His form and cause conjoined, preaching to stones, would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stem effects. Then what I have to do? Will want true color. Tears, perchance, for blood? To whom do you speak this? Do you see nothing there? Nothing at all, yet all that is I see. Nor did you hear nothing, or nor did you nothing hear? No, nothing but ourselves. Why, look you there, look how it steals away. My father, in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes, even now, out, at the portal. Hold on. Okay, good. This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation, ecstasy, is very cunning in. Ecstasy? My pulse, as yours doth temperately keep time, and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I matter will reword, which madness would gamble from. Mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption, mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven, repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds, to make them rancor. Forgive me this my virtue, for in the fatness of these pursy times, virtue itself of vice must pardon beg, yea, curb and woo for leave to do him good. O Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain. O throw away the worser part of it, and love the purer with the other half. Good night, but go not to mine uncle's bed. Assume a virtue, if you have it not. That monster custom, who all sense doth eat, of habits evil, is angel yet in this, that to use of actions fair and good, he likewise gives a frock or livery, I think that's livery, that aptly is put on. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence. The next more easy? For use almost can change the stamp of nature, and either curb the devil, or throw him out with wondrous potency. Once more, good night. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord. He's pointing at Polonius, Hamlet. For this same Lord, I do repent. But heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. Thus bad begins, and worse remains behind. One word more, good lady. Hello, Ignis. Welcome. I'm so glad you could come here. Good to see you. I hope all is going well. I hope all goes well with you. How are you? I'll take a little pause right here, as I need to probably hydrate right now. The intense exchange between Hamlet and his mother. Ooh, that's good. That's some good tea. Is good. Good. Whew. I'm glad to hear it. I am glad to hear it. Off tomorrow and got new headphones, so I has been gaming with those on. Nice! I know you've been saying, I know that meant to say gaming. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, so let's get back to it. Hamlet just said he's gonna pay for Polonius' death. Had to spend like 30 minutes on my EQ settings, but God, they make good music tasty. Ah, they sure do. So, he asked one more word from the Queen, and here she is. Let's resume Hamlet. What shall I do? Not this, by no means. That I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed. Pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him, for a pair of reechy kisses, or patting in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this matter out. That I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let him know, for who that's but a queen, fair, sober, wise, would from a paddock, from a bat, a gib, such dear concernings hide. Who would do so? No. In despite of sense and secrecy, unpeg the basket on the house's top, let the birds fly, and like the famous ape, to try conclusions in the basket creep, and break your own neck down. Be thou assured, if words be made of breath, and breath of life, I have no life to breathe, what thou hast said to me. I must to England. You know that. Alack, I had forgot. 'Tis so concluded on. There's letters sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adders. Wait, let me try again. There's letters sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adders fanged. They bear the mandate. They must sweep me way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work, for 'tis the sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petard, and it shall go hard, but I will delve 1 yard below their minds, and blow them at the moon. Oh, 'tis most sweet, when in one line 2 crafts directly meet. This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Mother, good night. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, peating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother. Act 4, Scene 1, a room in the castle. Enter the king, the queen, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern. Those two douches, those two little dimwits crack me up. Sumia loves the phrase, hoisting by their own petard. Yeah, that's a good one. Alright, here we go. Here's the king, and him I give, yes, Tia, lol. The king. The king I give a deep, sinister voice, like this. Here we go. There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves you must translate. 'Tis fit we understand them. Where is your son? Bestow this place on us a little while. She talks to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, who go out. Ah, my good lord, what have I seen tonight? What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet? Mad as the sea and wind when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, behind the arras, hearing something stir, whips out his rapier, cries, "A rat! A rat!" and in this brainish apprehension kills the unseen good old man. Oh, heavy deed! It had been so with us, had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of haunt this mad young man. But so much was our love, we would not understand what was more fit, but like the owner of a foul disease, to keep it from divulging, let it feed, even on the pith of life. Where is he gone? To draw apart the body he hath killed, o'er whom his very madness, like some ore among a mineral of metal's base, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done. Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence, and this vile deed we must, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Ho! Guildenstern! Re-enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Friends both, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go, seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you, haste in this. Exit Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Come, Gertrude. We'll call up our wisest friends, and let them know both what we mean to do, and what's ultimately done, so haply slander, whose whisper o'er the world's diameter, as level as the cannon to his blank, transports his poisoned shot, may miss our name, and hit the woundless air. Oh, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay. They leave. Scene 2, another room in the castle. Enter Hamlet. Safely stowed. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern from within. Hamlet! Lord Hamlet! What noise? Who calls on Hamlet? Oh, here they come. Here's Rosencrantz. What have you done, my lord, with the dead body? Compounded it with dust, whereto 'tis kin. Tell us where 'tis, that we may take it thence, and bear it to the chapel. Do not believe it. Believe what? That I can keep your counsel, and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of a king? Take you me for a sponge, my lord? Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities. But such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them, like an ape, in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed to be last swallowed. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again. I understand you not, my lord. I am glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear. My lord, you must tell us where the body is, and go with us to the king. The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing. This is Guildenstern. A thing, my lord? Of nothing. Bring me to him. Hide fox and all after. Scene 3, another room in the castle. Enter the king, attended. I have sent to seek him and to find the body. How dangerous is it that this man goes loose? Yet must not we put the strong law on him? He's loved of the distracted multitude, who like not in their judgment, but their eyes. And where 'tis so, the offender's scourge is weighed, but never the offense. To bear all smooth and even, this sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. Diseases desperate grown by desperate appliance are relieved, or not at all. How now? What hath befallen? Enter Rosencrantz. Jose! Hey, man, how you doing? I'm reading Hamlet. You caught me in a Hamlet scene. The question mark is warranted if you're not familiar with it. Is this the first time you're catching me reading Hamlet, my man? Or just doing Shakespeare in general? Nice to see ya! Nice to see you, Carabao, buddy! Okay, let me continue now. The king says, "How now? What hath befallen?" Here's Rosencrantz. "Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him." "But where is he?" Without my lord guarded to know your pleasure." "Bring him before us." "Ho, Guildenstern, bring in my lord." Enter Hamlet and Guildenstern. Prince of Denmark? We all know Denmark doesn't exist. Oh, please. Oh, please, Jose. Oh, please. Be fine to the Denmarkians. Okay, that was a little joke right there. Be kind. Come on. Be kind, Jose. Be kind. Anyway, here's the king to Hamlet. "Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?" "At supper." "At supper? Where?" "Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are even at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service, 2 dishes, but to 1 table. That's the end." Chia says Denmark does exist, and it's a great place. Chia has been there. Nice! Anyway, Hamlet just mocked the king about food. "Alas, alas! A man may fish with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed of that worm." "What dost thou mean by this?" "Nothing but to show you how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar. Where is Polonius?" "In heaven. Send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs and into the lobby." Sumiel says Danish is fictional, like Australia and Canada. I know where this is going. And yet I know not. But I'll play along. Yeah! And California is hell. Okay, where were we? Yeah, okay, so you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby. The king says to some attendants, "Go, seek him there." Hamlet says, "He will stay till you come." Exit the attendants. "Hamlet, this deed, for thine especial safety, which we do tender as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready, and the wind at help. The associates tend, and everything is bent for England." "For England?" "Aye, Hamlet." "Good." So is it, if thou knowest our purposes." "I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England! Farewell, dear mother." "Thy loving father, Hamlet." "My mother. Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh. And so, my mother. Come for England." Hamlet exits. The king is saying this to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. "Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. Away, for everything is sealed and done, that else leans on the affair. Pray you, make haste." Rosencrantz and Guildenstern leave, like the couple of buffoons they are. Now the king is alone. And England, if my love thou holdest at aught, as my great power thereof may give thee sense, since yet thy cicatrice looks raw and red after the Danish sword, and thy free awe pays homage to us, thou mayest not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full, by letters, conjuring to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me, till I know 'tis done, however mayhaps my joys were ne'er begun. Scene 4, a plain in Denmark. Plain, like grassy plains, that's how it's spelled, a plain, not like an airplane. Though that would be funny. Shakespeare then would not have been only a great writer, but a prophet. Okay. Enter Fortinbras and forces marching. Here's Fortinbras. Go, Captain, from me greet the Danish king. Tell him that by his license Fortinbras craves the conveyance of a promised march over his kingdom. You know the rendezvous. If that his majesty would aught with us, we shall express our duty in his eye, and let him know so. Here's the captain talking to Fortinbras. I will do't, my lord. Go softly on. Exit all but the captain. Here's Hamlet. Good sir, whose powers are these? They are of Norway, sir. That's the captain. How purpose, sir, I pray you? Against some part of Poland. Who commands them, sir? The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras. Goes it against the main of Poland, sir, or for some frontier? Truly to speak, and with no addition, we go to gain a little patch of ground that hath in it no profit but the name. To pay 5 ducats, 5, I would not farm it, nor will it yield to Norway or the Pole a ranker rate, should it be sold in fee. Why? Then the Pollock never will defend it. Yes, it is already garrisoned. 2,000 souls and 20,000 ducats will not abate the question of this straw. This is the imposthume of much wealth and peace, that inward breaks and shows no cause without why the man dies. I humbly thank you, sir. God be with you, sir. So the captain exits. Here's Rosencrantz. Wilt please you go, my lord? I'll be with you straight. Go a little before. Exit all but Hamlet. Here's Hamlet's big speech before the end of this. This is a big speech. Let's put it that way. How all occasions do inform against me, and spur my dull revenge. What is a man if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast no more. Sure he that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fuss in us unused. Now whether it be bestial oblivion, or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, a thought which, quartered, hath but 1 part wisdom and ever 3 parts coward, I do not know. Why yet I live to say this? I do not know. Why yet I live to say this things to do? Sith I have cause, and will, and strength, and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me. Witness this army of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince, whose spirit, with divine ambition puffed, makes mouths at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell. Rightly to be great is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honor's at the stake. How stand I, then, that have a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while, to my shame, I see the imminent death of 20,000 men that, for a fantasy and a trick of fame, go to their graves like beds? Fight for a plot whereon the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain? Oh, from this time forth, my thoughts be bloody, or be nothing worth. Exit Hamlet.